Football fans, Gooners, welcome to another edition of the Positively Uncensored Arsenal podcast. This is the post Leicester edition and pre Liverpool. And I have, as usual, my good friend Blackburn George. And the theme today is Arsenal. Don't worry, be happy. I hear McFerrin's little ditty um, in the back of my brain, George. That tune from the 80s. um, by the way, I think he passed away, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm always worrying about who passes away, George. Audience, forgive me. George, before I start, I'd just like to um, ask and appeal to those people who want a sensible, you know, balance viewpoint. We may not be right all the time, but we try to give a balance, unlike what goes on in most of social media. Social media thrives on extremes. We try not to. So remember to like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. We have a core of listeners. If you go online, you can see how many. But we like to break out and start attracting more numbers, and that's why I'm making that appeal to people. And if you are already a subscriber, encourage your friends and so on to subscribe to us. Maybe maybe they'll come on once and say, "Oh no!" But please see if we can expand our audience a bit. George, after all of that, don't worry, be happy, George. 9 wins on the bounce, George. And Leicester, although they had more possession, we had far more shots, far more chances created. All the good, positive things in football. I think that we were comfortable against Leicester. Your thoughts on that, George?
Yeah, apart from 10 or 15 minutes before half time, I thought we never looked in danger. And although the 2 goals were gifted to us, they really were gifts.
Yes, well,
I think
dear George, the first one, that header, the near post. I mean, it was as uncontested as it could be. The so-called defender to be in front of our good boy there from Ghana, just ran away from him. The other one was a pen by the Sion Chu. Well, he handled the ball. I don't know what they were arguing over all that time, but go ahead. Yeah, they were gifted in a way.
Yeah, although the 2 goals were gifts, I think we were fully deserving of a 2-goal margin. It wasn't an unfair reflection on the game. And there was some good play. Same people, all playing well. Good. Everything's hunky-dory at the moment.
Well, in the no, don't worry camp, I thought that the midfield and our good boy Odegaard bossed it around, and he got all the kudos during the commentary. Xhaka playing a little further up, and Partey sitting back. Partey looked comfortable. Although, George, I heard the audience, like, I don't know, the crowd was very anxious at times when he got the ball because he was very slow in making his decision, and even he and his teammates at one point were having a little, the back and forth on the field. You might recall that, but he was very comfortable for most of the match.
Yeah. So was Xhaka. Well, I said it before. The 3 different sections are all working well individually and working well as a team. And it's all good. We are where we are. How we got here, you can argue till the cow comes home whether mistakes were made or not. But the fact is, we're here. For me, we're heavy odds on favourite. And I know people are saying, "Oh, we've got difficult games coming up, and we'll lose some of them," and we will probably. But all the other contenders for 4th spot are going to be losing games as well. It's not like they're going to go on a 10-game winning streak. You watch Tottenham and United, they ain't winning every week. They'll have some hard games. They'll drop points to good teams, and they'll drop points to mediocre teams as well. So I tweeted the other day, I think we can lose. I think we could lose 5 games and still get 4.
You're a very optimistic man. But before we go into the don't worry, Cam, he had made a point last time, George, that he wanted to see a better connection between the front, the middle, and the front, the back. I'm sorry, George, the middle and the front 3. But your thoughts?
I'm saying I see a better connection.
Huh?
And I'm saying I see a better connection. So was a bit of in dispute there. I think that's the improvement that we're seeing. The connection between all the units on the field. We're playing much more through the middle because the midfield is now functional. And that means that the front 3 aren't disconnected. I don't see much to criticise at the moment. I really don't. We'll see, I suppose, tomorrow night when we play Liverpool, where we stand compared to them. But we're at home, and although it's going to be very difficult to keep Liverpool out with their firepower, we've got a fair bit of firepower ourselves. It's not like they score from midfield. They're much like us. They're dependent on the front 3 to score, or the front 2 even, if Firmino plays. So I don't see that their midfield is better than our midfield at the moment. I would say they have the advantage in the front 3. We have an advantage in the middle of the park, and they have an advantage in defence. So on balance, sort of 2-1 in their favour. But we're at home, so maybe that evens it up. I think it could be a very even game.
I look struck by that. Do you think that the midfield 3 of Xhaka, Odegaard, and Partey can match up to their 3?
I think they're better.
You're better? Their 3 is help me there, George. Their 3
well,
they could throw Henderson, they could throw that Fabinho, they could throw who's their playmaker? The guy from Africa.
Thiago.
Yeah, pardon?
Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago, but he's a little bit more defensive. But the fellow from that they picked up from Red Bull 2 years ago, he has been injured a lot. Yeah, they hardly start him, by the way.
Yeah, I mean the decent players, but I just think I see our 3 at the moment stronger. I think Odegaard and Xhaka are better than them, and the way Partey's playing, he probably is as well. So I just think I think we're with those 3 in midfield, I think we're very strong. I think we're stronger than them. Simple as that. There you are, I've said it. But I think they're stronger than us, the front 3, and I think their defence is better than ours. Although ours is decent. So
George, I am not so sure I agree with you. And I'm not I don't want about inventing controversy. But the thing I fear, I used to underestimate, and he's now no longer playing with them, George. I used to underestimate their midfield, especially with Gigi Wijnaldum was playing. I used to think, where's the guy from? He used to be at Newcastle. He's no goddamn good. It's a team that won the Champions League and won the league too. That midfield, there's a couple of new. Thiago came in, Gigi's gone. But there's something about their midfield that surprised me. Henderson and company. I mean, people underestimate Henderson terribly. I forgot to mention his name. I'm not trying to invent a controversy here, but I think their midfield is very strong. Maybe it's not as skillful as everybody would like. Am I being negative?
Well,
am I negative
no.
Liverpool?
No, I accept what you're saying. Well, their midfield is functional. It was always functional. And that's the point, that all their job is just to get it to the front three.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and
But
then yeah.
but they're not bad players. They're decent players. I mean, Thiago's a magnificent player.
Yes.
He really is outstanding. But on balance, I still think our three are better at the
George,
moment than them.
don't you think that we heavily underestimate Henderson? I mean, I sometimes I think of he used to remind me of players that we had that we underestimated. Just I don't know. I think there's something about us at Arsenal where if you didn't you were playing on a continental team and you're the Hendersons of this world are regarded as not really good enough.
I don't think anybody's saying he's not good enough. He's a good player.
He is.
But, is he better than Xhaka?
There you
Not
go.
for
That is
me.
the comparison I used to make in my mind. Our lot are killing Xhaka, and I say Henderson is pretty much the same type of player, right-footed. Plays a little bit deeper. Anyway, that's what concerns me in the "Don't worry, be happy" camp, George. One of the concerns.
Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see what happens. But I'm not. I can't see our midfield being overrun by them. That's for sure.
Isn't that how we lost the last? Isn't that how we lost their game up there? They overran us and they just start finding the Egyptian, and he and Mane, and they killed us. And
but the Egyptian and Mane killed a lot more teams than Arsenal when they go up there. You've got to give them credit. They're a fantastic team. And I mean, you could toss a coin who's going to win the league now between them and City. That's how good they are, because City are phenomenal. And Liverpool could beat them this season. That makes them phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I just feel that we've reached a stage now where we can at least give them a game.
Yes.
You wouldn't go back 6 months and you're fearing the worst.
Yes.
There's no optimism at all. But now I think there is. There's a glimmer. There's a chance. I like what I'm seeing at the moment. So I'm looking forward to the game. I mean, just looking forward to playing Liverpool now instead of dreading it. That's got to be.
Well, that was it.
Change.
That was a sea change from 3 months ago. We dreaded it because there are people who talked about we had a chance, and you and I came here and said, I remember that podcast. I said, you must be dreaming. It's quite a different thing. We're in great shape. I mean, you go, like I say, you go online, it's 6 wins, is all greens. But it always, I'm not inventing controversy, but I think a little perspective is necessary here. They are, as you said, George, they're giving City a run for their money when City look like they're far away. Yeah.
They're both exceptional teams, and I'm happy.
Yes.
That we can say we're looking forward to the game, and we think we can give them. Whether we do it or not doesn't really matter. I mean, they could turn us over. They could put 4 or 5 past us. It's possible. It's unlikely that we'll do that to them, but they could do it to us. But it doesn't matter to me. The feeling that we have a chance, and I'm looking forward to the game, is all I ask for, really. I don't expect us to beat Liverpool. I don't expect us to beat Manchester City or Chelsea. But I want to have a chance. I want to go into the game looking forward to it. And now you can. At this moment in time, you can. So that's that's good. You know, that's what it used to be. You
Yeah.
know, we played the top teams. They were probably favourite, but we knew on a good day we could beat them. Well, I think on a good day we can beat them now.
Sure, and I agreed. I mean, it's far more. I mean, it's far more. There's far more underneath to show that we're creating more chances. For instance, George, we are more
We're doing
threatening.
everything better.
Yeah, we are more threatening when we go forward compared to 3 months ago. You recall we weren't creating chances. We didn't look like we could score in our worlds. You know what I
Well, we
mean?
didn't. We went a month and we didn't.
Yes, yes. George, let's not. I want one last question. Because I don't want to make up stuff for our podcast. Is there anything that concerns you at all going forward?
Well, going forward, when the rest of the season, or
Yes, George. I mean, actually,
no, not really. No.
if you recall, for instance, and it may not change, and I'm sure it doesn't change anything you said. For example, he was very not pessimistic, but was concerned about like Crystal Palace, who went yesterday and drew with Manchester City, for instance. So, any concerns that you have going forward?
No, not really. No, I mean, like I say, results can happen. Bad results can happen. We will drop points, but I just think we're all good at the moment. I mean, obviously, injuries is the worry, the concern.
Yes.
Anything happens to Odegaard, Partey,
or Saka.
well,
Saka
I think we can cover Saka. I think we can cover Saka. Not like for like, but
Pepe's
Pepe's done
on.
well.
We can bring Pepe on.
We can bring Pepe on. We can start Pepe.
Yeah.
Even Lacazette, I think Eddie can do all right. The problem is Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard have no replacements without a considerable drop off in quality. Nikita, he'll bring you stuff that Lacazette doesn't.
Yes.
But we'll lose stuff that Lacazette brings.
Mm-hmm.
Saka, you lose a lot because he's in fine form, but Pepe can bring a lot to the party if he gets it right. So even in defence, we lose one of the defenders. I think Rob Holding's more than good enough to come in.
Yes, you have a nemesis online who seems to be a holding partisan. We won't call his name. But we have a lot of nemesis online, by the way. But George,
like I give a fuck.
Yeah, I know we don't. Anyway, George, and talking about giving a fuck, I just want to say I am not going. We both admitted that we were surprised about us being in the present position. I'm not even going around apologizing. We were playing like shit 3 months ago, and we said it. We called it like it is, and it's improved. And we saw the improvements, and we said yes, we're seeing the improvements, and we are quite very surprised that we are fourth now. But it's good. We said that it was a potential possibility, and this happened. I'm not going to apologize for speaking the truth. How about you?
Where are you seeing this online?
Oh, I see people saying, biting at you, George, saying that.
Oh, fucking hell! I could give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
let them dig in.
Yes.
That's what you let them enjoy themselves.
Yeah, well, anyway, I just
they talk bollocks anyway. I mean, I could probably not reply to them, and it would be just as effective because they talk fucking bollocks most of the time anyway.
All right, George, let's not prolong this. I know people go on, Natter, and we're guilty of that too. This is gonna be a very interesting game. I have to see it, and we probably won't talk about it until Friday, folks, because we're not that daily. But that's a very interesting game. But I don't think at the end of the day, you and I don't think that will derail our top 4 chances. That's the whole point, correct?
No, I don't think it will. I think, like I say, I think we can lose 4 or 5 games because nobody else looks like they're capable of winning, putting a running winning streak together. Apart from us,
Yes.
we do. We look like we could win regularly.
Yes.
But we'll see. I mean, we could lose this. We could lose to Spurs. We could lose here. You know, and then all of a sudden, it's not looking as bright. But we could also win all those games because now at least we've a chance. And we go into some games favourites, and we have a decent chance against everybody else.
Yep. Well, on that note, George, I'm not going to argue with you. On that, you know, I don't think losing 5. The persons who would be very worried about losing 4 or 5 games were fans, and those all were so optimistic that we'll suddenly start.
What do you think's the result going to be then?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, pin flags to the sail.
2-0 to Liverpool or 2-1. I think they'll edge us. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. But I don't see a win for us. I really don't. They're in a killer mode. They want to get there. They want to win the league. And that's what's going to be the edge. But hey,
that's going to be some game.
Huh?
That's going to be some game. Manchester City, Liverpool in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think we should all set our clocks and watches. Thank you, George.
All right. See you later.
All righty, later. Bye.
Bye.